Hello viewers and welcome back to an all-new episode of MLB 13 Road to the Show with our closing pitcher Gus Farmer. Now in this episode we're going to finish up spring training and hope we do a good enough job to impress and maybe make it on a 25-man roster. So we have a lot to do and let's get started. Our first pitching opportunity for this episode is against the Detroit Tigers. Now, Detroit, they're an AL team, and even though we probably won't be seeing them much during the season, we still want to do good against them. We maybe have the advantage, I don't know. I don't necessarily know if the pitcher has the advantage or if the batter has an advantage when neither one has seen the other. Sometimes I think that the pitcher can definitely have the advantage just because the batter might not be aware of arm throwing and other things, different moves that the pitcher is most often likely to make depending on what type of pitch they're going to throw. So definitely we want to do good when we're pitching against the AL teams in the spring training games. Maybe if we were a more seasoned player, had a better reputation, then it would be okay if we did bad against the American League just because we're not necessarily going to see them much. But Gus, he needs to impress, so he needs to do as well as he possibly can. Also, we just finished up a training opportunity, and Gus, he has really very good control. So I have had basically no issues at all with the training sessions. Now we're going to play against the Braves, and we definitely want to do good against them just because Braves are in the same division as the Mets. And we would be pitching against them quite a bit if we were on the Major League roster. So this is a long fly ball, but thankfully the right fielder gets back there in time. That could have been a game-ending home run, just because we are pitching in the ninth, and any run that we allow will be a loss for the Mets. Another quick out, and this one, another fly ball, pretty deep, but not deep enough. So Gus, he does his job. Doesn't give up any runs, so the Mets are still in it, and they wind up scoring to win the game. One thing I do enjoy about the types of situations Gus is in now is he does have the opportunity to win some games. When you're a closing pitcher and you're just closing, you really don't get a chance to win unless you blow a save and then they come back to win in the next inning. But Gus, he is sometimes being given the opportunities to win. Probably won't win this game just because if he's the pitcher on record when they score 6 runs, then that'll definitely be quite impressive, but not necessarily very likely. Also, Gus, he's given up a hit, and as you will see, he gives up another hit. Right fielder is unable to get there in time, so we have runners on first and second with no outs. That shouldn't be a problem for Gus though, right? Next batter, we are able to strike him out, so we're doing really good. We could get a double play to end it. But, nope. Throws it to first, and now we have runners on second and third with 2 outs. So still not too bad. No problem, just need 1 out, and the first baseman unable to get it. Both runs are going to end up scoring. Yeah, and there goes Gus's perfect ERA. But we get the ground ball to finish the inning. Still, the damage is done. The Mets are down by 7 runs. Need to score 7 runs in order just to tie it. And they are unable to score no more runs. Also, Gus was only charged with 1 earned run during that game, so the error erased 1 of the runs. But Gus, his ERA is no longer perfect for the spring. Still very impressive. And against the Houston Astros, man on second, no outs, 7th inning. Shouldn't be too difficult. It's a little disheartening that the Astros are beating the Mets just because the Astros are really in some rough shape. This is 2014 though, so maybe they turn things around and start to improve just slightly. They definitely have a lot of work to do. It's really quite unfortunate for the fan base just how out of it the Houston Astros really are. Miami Marlins are pretty out of it right now at this point as well. Both of them are really not doing too well at all. But that's not 2014. 2014, maybe the Marlins and the Astros are phenomenal teams. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. But we have no issues. We do let the 1-run score, but it wasn't our runner, so it doesn't affect our ERA at all. And here we are given the opportunity to pitch against the Cardinals. We're beating them by quite a bit, so we're just going to skip this game. Gus has no issues at all. Moving along, and game against the Nationals, again, nothing too interesting, so we'll just skip that one as well. Want to make sure that we can get all of this in and finish up the spring without making the episode too long. Pitching location training, get some good points put into our 3 pitches. As a closing pitcher, don't necessarily need too many pitches as long as it's working well, but if Gus is going to be in an extended period when he's pitching out of the bullpen and not as a closer, maybe pitching more than 1 inning, then we might want to consider adding on another pitch. So far, we're doing fine with it, having no issues. Probably going to increase the difficulty just so that we can make things more interesting, just because Gus, he's having no real issues in terms of blowing saves or anything like that, and we want to make him work for it. He's only 19 years old. He's not going to be perfect, and it's really quite unlikely that any pitcher would be able to go through the spring with the ERA and the success that Gus is having right now. So next episode, probably see that the difficulty has been raised. And so Gus, again, nothing new, no issues. 1 inning pitched. I'm a little surprised that they haven't given him the opportunity to pitch more than 1 inning at a time. Maybe they're just using him and then going to send him down to AAA. We will see shortly. So 2 games left in the season. And against the Astros, nothing interesting at all. Want to hurry up and get to the end of the season. Spring training has come to an end, so let's see what happens. And we are on the Mets. We're part of the 25-man roster, which is quite an accomplishment. Gus, he should be extremely proud of himself. We're going to see where we rank, and we're still second among closing pitchers, but we're doing really very well. And we're put in the middle relief role, same role that we were in during spring training. A little disappointed that we're not part of the setup men, just because holds do give you good training points, and we don't necessarily want to be put in situations where we're just mopping it up when it's a blowout, but we should still be pretty proud, and hopefully we'll get more than 1 inning to pitch at a time. So next episode, Gus will start out the season. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.